Hi friends, it's Joan at 10 Pentacles Tarot, and today I'm going to do something different that I haven't done before. Today I'm going to do a deck interview for you. Now, I'm going to use the Tarot of the Owls by Pamela Chen with art by Elizabeth Alba. And she is the artist who also did the art for the Everyday Witch Tarot and the Everyday Witch Oracle. Now, excuse me. Okay, so in the guidebook, it talks about deck interviews. And I'm going to read you what it says because it's something, I don't know if this says something you do. If it is, I'd love to know if you could comment below. It says interviewing your deck. This is a very popular ritual that many tarot practitioners love. Every deck has a unique energy and could be read for different purposes or types of messages. A deck will connect to each individual differently and show up to help in ways that are for the reader's highest and best good. The owls will be sharing their interview ritual, and I hope you find the answers you seek with this deck. It is not required to perform this sacred ritual, but if it seems like a fun adventure to you, then try it. There are no right or wrong answers. If it all doesn't make sense right now, don't worry. Just write everything down. You can revisit your messages in the future. The best time to do this ritual is when you first receive your deck before you do any readings. This way, the deck will help you understand how to use it. All right. So it says, I'm going to just go ahead and shuffle the cards. If you'd like to watch the review of this deck, feel free. I did review the deck. Okay. So, it says, open your deck, cleanse it with one of the methods shared earlier in the chapter. Okay, we're not going to do that. Look through the entire deck to get a feeling for the artwork and the deck's energy. Already did that. You can even pick out your favorite card or those that invoke strong feelings. Write those cards down so that you can journal about them later. Shuffle your deck well. Mix up the cards however you desire. So that's what we're going to do first. And if you want to write down the steps to this, that would be great. And then you can write down the questions and see. And you can use this method for any deck that you want to interview. All right, so let's... Okay. Shuffle your deck well. Mix up the cards however you desire. Let's mix them up well. I really like the way this deck shuffles. They're really bendy. When I can do a good riffle shuffle, it just makes me happy. All right. So then it says, when you're ready, ask the following 3 questions, pulling 1 card for question. Okay. First question. What types of readings are best suited for this deck? All right, so Spirit, what types of readings are best suited for this deck? What types of readings are best suited for this deck? I think those 2. All right, so it says 6 of Cups reversed and the Hermit reversed. I'm going to stir each right side up. So if we're going to look which types of readings are best for this kind of deck, this 6 of Cups is all about childhood memories or things that happened in the past, happy memories. And so I would say this means that this would be a good deck for getting answers about your past and or getting answers about a person's past and how their past experiences have affected their life. That would be what I would take from this card. And the other one, the Hermit, I would say this is a good deck for introspective readings, for going inside and for finding your inner wisdom. So those are 2 the answers I would get from those. And you can pull as many cards as you feel led to pull, but these are the types of readings I would say best would be best for this deck, according to the question, would be questions about your client's past experiences and how they have affected their life or affecting their life now, or even how a person's experiences have and are affecting their life. And also about introspection, about going inside and learning about your inner wisdom. All right, so that's question number 1. The second question, how can I best receive guidance from this deck? All right, how can I best receive guidance from this deck? And I probably should put these back in, because what if the cards are the same answer? What if some of them are the same answer? So that's a good thing. Now, what was the question again? How can I best receive guidance from this deck? I'd love it if you interviewed a deck and you could tell me how it went. What do you think about that? Do you think it's a valuable thing to do? How can I best receive guidance from this deck? All right, let me pull a clarification. 8 of Cups. How can I best receive guidance from this deck? The 8 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. The 8 of Cups is all about searching for what's missing, leaving one thing to search for another. So I can best receive guidance from this deck if I am willing to see what's missing in a situation. If I'm willing to see what is needed, if I'm willing to see what is needed for my own fulfillment. How can I best receive guidance? If I'm in the frame of mind to accept what is best for me, if I'm willing to accept what is for my own good, for my own happiness, for my own fulfillment. So I feel like it's saying, how can I best receive guidance? How can I best receive guidance from this deck? I can best receive guidance from this deck when I am willing to look at what is needed in my life to have fulfillment. All right, and I can best receive guidance from this deck when I am presented with many choices and I need to choose between them. All right, so this deck may help me to find fulfillment when I'm looking for fulfillment, and this deck may also help me when I am trying to make a choice between many possibilities. All right, so that's what I'm getting out of that. And again, you may read it differently. You may find a different answer, but that's what resonates with me. And the third question is, how will this deck be able to support me on my current path? How will this deck be able to support me on my current path? How will this deck be able to support me on my current path? 8 of Swords. Okay. And the Knight of Cups reversed. Okay. I think it will best support me on my path when I'm ready to get out of my head, or when I'm too much in my head and I need to look at things differently, when I need to look at things from a different perspective, when I need to get out of my head and get into my heart, get into my intuition. All right, and also it will be able to support me on my current path by helping me to not rush ahead in matters of the heart, but to clarify. It will help me to clarify matters of the heart, and not and help me not to just rush into things, rush into emotional decisions, but rather to take the time to think about it. It will also help me to support me by giving me information on my emotional state and my relationships, and or on the emotional state and relationships of the people I read for. It will also help people to get out of that trapped feeling, get out of the feeling of being trapped in your head. It will help you to think through a problem. It will help me to think through a problem, or to explore a problem further. All right, well, that's what I got out of it. So number 5 says, you might understand the messages that the cards are sharing with you, or you might not. Journal about whatever comes to your mind intuitively when looking at the cards you pulled. Then use this guidebook to look up the cards' meanings. That might spark a deeper understanding or give you more information. Okay, so yeah, and we could look it up. So let's say we didn't know what the Knight of Cups reversed might have to do with. How will this deck be able to support me on my current path? So let's look up. Oh, next turn right to it. The Knight of Cups reversed. When the energy of this card is prominent in your life, you might be morphing into a people pleaser, turning into someone who will do anything for anyone. You truly want to help, but you also crave the attention. Making other people happy might feel good for a while, but deep in your heart you know that the actions you're taking are not aligned with your desires. Eventually, this will become challenging and exhausting, working on setting firm boundaries with your friends and family so that you can balance exchange of energies in your relationships. Okay, so what that tells me here then again is, how will this deck be able to support me on my current path? Well, it can very much help me to know whether the actions I'm taking are aligned with my desires, or it could help me to set firmer boundaries and to balance the exchange of energies in my relationships. So I think that advice is very good, to use the guidebook to look up the cards' meanings to clarify it. Because when you just look at them like this, trying to answer the questions, it is a little bit daunting, and it is a little bit confusing. So that really helped me to figure out what the cards are trying to say. So anyway, that is my example of a deck interview. You may want to use it. You may want to write down the questions. You may want to find different deck interview questions. There are a bunch out there. If you just Google tarot deck interviews, you can find them. A lot of the books have tarot deck interview questions like this one does. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell, because if you do that, you will be informed whenever a new video is uploaded, so you won't miss any. I want you to know that I appreciate you more than I can ever tell you. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it is where you are, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.